the Wednesday edition of Box Seat. I'm Adam Grath. No Ian Lenton with us today, but hopefully we'll still find plenty of winners throughout the program. I am looking forward to his 8-race card at Belmont Park. Let's take a look at the conditions that we're going to be faced with. There will be some light winds, 21 degrees and sunny. The rail is out 15 metres with a cutaway in the straight. Race number 1, it is the West Speed 3-year-old handicap over the 1200 metres, and really looking forward to this field. There's some good horses going around. Ros Martini returns for the Simon Miller stable. Le Patron has shown plenty in her early starts. Then horses like Idyllic Queen and Spirit Bird certainly can't be ignored in this field. Well, let's take a look at Ros Martini. A very impressive campaign. Last campaign, they won 2 in a row, won by 4.8 lengths, won by 4.3, and that's the one we're going to take a look at now. Last start over the 1700 metres.
Straight at the 350, and Whiting releases the brakes, and Ros Martini boots well clear. Ros Martini opened up and led by 4 What Did You Do, who for the moment can't do any better. In behind them, Courageous Hero battling with Onapara through along the rail, then Prayer and Sea, but the further they go, the further the filly extends that lead, and she's going to dominate again. Ros Martini home by 3.5 to What Did You Do.
Really good performance there by Ros Martini. She certainly came into her own, a horse that could go to the front, lead, and then fight all the way to the line as well. If she's fit, she is going to be very hard to beat here. Aaron Mitchell to ride, so just the 56 kilos, and as I said, you'd expect her to jump, run, and they're going to have to do some serious work to chase her down. One horse that will be trying to do that is number 2, Le Patron. Drawn nicely, finally gets a gate for this start. Barrier 3 is a big plus. Jared Noski to ride for trainer Ben Pearce. This horse has been attacking the line strongly over the 1,000 metres, so I think the 1,200 metres will be ideal and we'll see some improvement. Idyllic Queen showed that improvement last start that we expected. Finished third, only 2 lengths away from Bombs Away. Steps up to the 1,200 metres, is 1 from 1 at that distance. Beat Gold Club by 2.5 lengths, went over the 1,200 metres last time, and of course Gold Club put in a really good performance on Saturday at Belmont Park as well, so that reads well. And horses that also have to take note of, number 7, number 8, Incoming Tide in Massachusetts. Incoming Tide trialled really well the other day with William Pite riding. Gets just 53.5 kilos with Jake Casey to ride, so certainly a lightweight chance. And then also Massachusetts with Clint Johnson Porter to ride, just the 52.5 kilos for trainer Lindsay Smith. And the run behind the Cobbler was very impressive, attacked the line strongly. So with 52.5, I don't think you can ignore those 2 lightweights there, Incoming Tide and also Massachusetts. Let's take a look at selections for race number 1. I'm going to be tipping number 1, Ros Martini. From number 2, Le Patron, number 4, Spirit Bird, and number 3, Idyllic Queen. Race number 2, it is Perth. Race number 4 for our Singapore viewers. It's a West Speed 3-year-old handicap over the 1,200 metres for colts and geldings, and a very competitive field as well. Horses like Express Snooper and Military Rocker, which of course we have seen win races. All G was very impressive first up at Pinjarra, and then Key to Fame and Crypto Kid, which might provide a little bit of speed in this race as well. So certainly an interesting race, and barrier draws are going to play a big part in this field. Let's take a look at the replay of Express Snooper. The last time we saw this horse go around, it was beaten by Reverend John, which of course put in some pretty nice runs on Belmont Park on Saturday. Take a look at that replay now.
John, but still conceding them a head start, and Tetley's ride last in the straight at the 300. Diamond Tonique kicks 1.5 lengths to 2 in front of. Down the outside, Cubit and Cundy. They beat off Hidden Grace. Reverend John still running on Will. Cubit and Cundy raced up to Diamond Tonique. Here's Reverend John though. Reverend John on the outside of Cubit and Cundy. Cubit and Cundy, Reverend John, you don't get beaten in photos.
Really good performance here by Express Snooper. We see the form lines around Man Booker as well, so we know this horse has got quality around it. A bit of a concern there with the barrier draw in barrier 12. Jerry Noski to ride, so just the 57.5 kilos. I think this horse wants the further difference to the 1,400 metres, probably ideal. So the 1,200 from that draw, a few little question marks around Express Snooper. Military Rock, also another one that has drawn out wide. Jared Noski to ride in the 59 kilos. This horse was a winner 3 starts ago. Followed that up with only a length of feet behind Still the Light and 3.5 lengths behind Bombs Away. But again, from out in the car park, I think Military Rock may struggle. Another one that is out wide, but I was quite impressed with the gate speed, is number 4, All G. Troy Turner to ride here for Brian Kersey. He was only beaten 1.5 lengths by Perfect Reflection. Jumped from barrier 10 on that occasion and crossed them with these. So I think they'll be trying to do the same again here. And if they're able to get that rest, this horse should be fitted for the run. He's obviously had that 1,200 metre debut as well. So I'm expecting improvement from All G, and it'll all come down to where this horse gets a bit of a rest throughout running. But it is one that can cross lead and I think run a race here. Number 6, Key to Fame for trainer Simon Miller. Was really impressed with the recent trial as well. This horse showed plenty of speed early and then was able to relax and fight off incoming tide over the closing stages, which we mentioned in that first preview, trialled really well as well. So barrier 1 with the 57.5 kilos. I think Key to Fame will be very hard to beat. And number 12, Sealed with a Kiss for Dan Morton. Patrick Carberry to ride. Has jumped from barriers 9 and 8 in recent starts. Draws barrier 3 here with the 57.5 kilos. Was just beaten half a length by Petite Charm last start. That was at Pinjarra as well over the 1200 metres. And I think this horse just does a lot of things right and is certainly one that you should be looking in your top 4. Let's take a look at selections for race number 2. I'm going to be tipping number 6, Key to Fame. From number 14, State Solicitor for Grand Williams and William Pike. Number 12, Sealed with a Kiss. And number 4, All G. Race number 3 at Belmont Park. It is Perth race number 6 for our Singapore viewers. It is over the 1400 metres and an interesting race here because we do have a bit of speed with the likes of Almighty Zeus and also the Carnup Kid, and then the class in recent runs of It's It, Conjob and Coruscation, and the barrier draw certainly plays a big part here with a cutaway in the straight, and I think it does suit the likes of Conjob and Coruscation. And Conjob was a very impressive winner last start, was able to get a nice position, carried the 59 kilos too, drops to 56.5. Let's take a look at that victory now.
Third last and out, deepest of them all at the top of the home straight. At the 300, Idealist led by 2 lengths to Stephens Dom and Mega Factory. Conjob near the inside, followed further back, It's It, Idealist tackled by Mega Factory. 150 to go and he ducked in quickly across the path of Stephens Dom. Conjob keeps coming, Mega Factory still ducking in. Conjob picked him up on his inside. Conjob.
Really good run there by Conjob, as you said, had the perfect sit in the 59 kilos. It was a good performance. Drawn in barrier 3, this horse should get a very nice run through the early stages, and if Sean McGrady wants to use the cutaway, he'll be able to with the 56.5 kilos. And McGrady riding very nicely, the Wolf stable going along well, so I think Conjob is certainly one of the harder horses to beat in this. As with number 6, Coruscation, drawn in barrier 2 with the 56 kilos, was beaten under a length by Meteoroid last start to carrying the same weight in the same grade as well, and Meteoroid was a very impressive winner. If Coruscation is able to sit just behind the speed and use that cutaway, I think this is a Saturday horse and it should be very hard to hold out in the Wednesday company. There's a few others in that similar basket, and I speak of number 3, Prentice, a really good performance first up, was beaten 2 lengths by Company Exchange. That was on a Saturday as well, ridden by Troy Turner on that occasion on a slow track. Second up now, it's never placed before, but I think stepping up to the 1400 metres is ideal, and on a Wednesday company can certainly play a part in this race. The speed that we talked about with Almighty Zeus and Carnup Kid, it'll be interesting to see how Carnup Kid does race. We haven't seen it since the 15th of July, but the win at Pinjarra on the 2nd of July, this horse was all class, went to the front, settled, and then was able to fight back, and that's exactly what Almighty Zeus did last start as well. Dropped from the 16 to the 14, got to the front, had a breather, and then fought on all the way to the line, and with Clint Johnson Porter to ride, carries just the 52 kilos again, so certainly can't be ignored from a race like this. Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going to be tipping number 6, Coruscation, from number 5, Conjob, number 11, It's It, and number 3, Prentice. Race number 4, it is over the 2200 metres at Belmont Park, and it is race 8 for our Singapore viewers. Again, these distance races, they always do throw up a surprise result, and last start, that was Successful Spin. You got a nice price of $21 on course. It beat a BB by a length on that occasion, which has come out and won since, and won very easily at about $1.30 at Pinjarra. So that is a replay that we're going to take a look at now.
100 to go. Successful Spin, making a bold attempt to lead throughout, led by 2 lengths. Media Max, Son of a Preacher, down on the inside. Arctic Bolt, rare selection. A BB winding up in the middle, followed by Wild Eyes. At the 150, Successful Spin still in front. Arctic Bolt closing. Media Max, Pondula and a BB. Successful Spin though, defying the challenges, and it does it all of the way. Successful Spin beat.
There you see a really good performance by Successful Spin. Was able to lead from start to finish and win by just over a length by a BB. A good ride by Randy Tandy. Keeps that ride as well. Carries just the 56 kilos, and this horse is one that can string a few wins together, so certainly can't be ruled out in this field. Number 1, State Form's an interesting runner. Hasn't won for 721 days, but you look at the recent form lines, this horse isn't doing much long. Beaten by the Ladies' Choice by 1.5 and Cougar Express by 1 length as well. And the last time it was in a 52 to 64. It carried the 60 kilos. Carries just 56.5 here with Clint Johnson Porter to ride from barrier 3. I think Ian said it before and I've said it, I won't be tipping this horse, but I think I'm going to find it very hard not to put State Form on top in this field and go against my word. The 2 Fred Kersley horses are very interesting runners. At Kansas last start, beaten 3 lengths by Corralabek, but does get William Pike on board. Drawn out wide with the 59 kilos, but the form that William Pike's been recently, 5 winners on Saturday at Belmont Park. That can't be ignored, and Nunca Turindes gets the blinkers on. Aaron Mitchell to ride as well, so just the 56 kilos and was only narrowly beaten at Pinjarra last start. So with the blinkers on and that claim, should also be right in the mix. Number 7, Six Legion, really good performance at Kalgoorlie last start. Finished second, was only beaten at half length by Black Moment. Black Moment came out and won on Sunday as well, so some strong form lines. And So Extreme was beaten a nose last start by Top of the Wazza, carrying the 57 kilos. It goes up to 57.5, but this is a true stayer. You know what you're going to get, and again, has to be in the mix for this field. Let's take a look at the selections for race number 4. I'm going to be tipping number 1, State Form. From number 3, Nunca Terindez, number 7, Six Legion, and number 4, Successful Spin.